I'm not sure why, but it's not letting me write over top of what you have written, so I'm just going to record a quick video. So you said on this one you're stuck on the slant asymptote. So as I look at this, I see you have the negative 3x squared minus 9x on the side of your box. You started with x cubed. Okay, so remember we talked about when you have, when you're doing the division, you have to make sure that all the powers of x are represented. So you have an x cubed, which means we also need to see an x squared. So you're going to need to add in a 0x squared as like a placeholder. So think about this expression here as being x cubed plus 0x squared minus 4x. And then when you multiply 1/3 x times negative 9x, you're actually going to get 3x squared. So now you need to think about what are you going to add or subtract from 3x squared to get 0x squared. And that's what'll go right here. So in that box, let me try something here. I'm just going to write over it in white. So in that box, we'd actually have negative 3x squared. So that we get 0x squared. And then that'll change this as well. Okay, so see if that helps you figure out that missing piece of your equation. And then you also have number 6. And number 6, you said, yeah, so everything does end up canceling out, which actually means there's 2 holes in the function. And you kind of have a start there. That's great. When you do factor it, you have x minus 3. Let me get a black marker here. X minus 3 times x plus 3 over x times x minus 3 and then x plus 3. So when you get your giant ones, which you did, you said x minus 3 and x minus 3 would be one giant one, and then x plus 3 and x plus 3 would be a second giant one. Those are going to help you figure out the holes in your function. So let's start with the x minus 3. Okay, so that first hole, remember, we find it here, the x coordinate comes from whatever factor created your giant one, which was x minus 3, set it equal to 0, and solve. So you get 3. And you have that, but the y coordinate is not going to be 0. We'll come back to that in just a second. Let me set up the second hole. Okay, so the second hole, again, the x coordinate is going to be what happens when you take the part that makes it a giant one, which is x plus 3, set equal to 0, and you get x equals negative 3. Again, you have that, but the y coordinate just isn't correct. So I want to take a second and talk about how you get the y coordinate. So the y coordinate for both, you have to look at after you cancel out your giant ones. And I see that you tried to do that, but then you got confused about what was left. And it actually is, because you think about this, this is 1 times something in your numerator. Really, you're canceling out, you're getting giant ones. So you have a 1 in your numerator. So what's left is just 1 over x. So when you go to find the y coordinate, you're going to plug in for the first hole, you're going to plug 3 into 1 over x, which will give you 1 over 3. That's going to be the y coordinate of the hole. And you'll do the same thing with the second hole. So you'll take that negative 3 and plug it into 1 over x and get 1 over negative 3, which is just negative 1/3. So yeah, it got a little weird there for a minute, but those are going to be your 2 holes in your function. Okay, let me know if this helps.